Hey everybody, I hope you're doing well. It was great to talk with some of you on video chat yesterday, and I hope that technology is working in your favor. Today our theme is ancient Egypt, so if you have knowledge that you've already collected about this civilization, fantastic. Just like Mesopotamian culture, Egyptian civilization was founded along a river. In this case, it was the Nile River. The hieroglyphs are similar to the writings that were found in Mesopotamia as well, but these were very kind of literal figures. And in fact, you will see, sometimes people of bigger stature or more importance being depicted as much larger than, say, a servant or a slave. The artwork for this time was not intended for the living, but more for the dead. Most of what you've seen from Egyptian artwork was from tombstones or a symbolic representation of a god. You might have seen that kind of wolf-type face facing this way with the body forward. Most of the Egyptian art was like that, profile and then figure forward, and sometimes the feet this way or the hands this way. And I read that it was to decipher kind of individual features. So if you're forward, it's harder to see individual features as opposed to the side view. The clothing itself was pretty simple. It was basic linen, white fabric. It was most likely worn this way because of the climate in the region being the desert. But they did show status in how they wore, things on their head. Jewelry was extremely important for the wealthy individuals, and also certain individuals wore perfumes out of oils. I wanted to show you an example of an amulet. This is a dung beetle or a scarab, and it was a popular symbol at that time. They wore for protection or good luck. The men were as much, if not more, decorated than the women. So they wore wigs, some headdresses, similar sandals, and of course the signature eye makeup that we all know. Since Egyptians were probably the first to make portraits of themselves, I thought it would be fun today to do an art project of ourselves as ancient Egyptians. The first step was to draw your portrait. Notice that I made my face profile, so turned to the side, and my shoulders facing forward, which is symbolic of Egyptian paintings. Now you can do the whole body if you would like to, with feet facing the same direction as well. And it is a self-portrait, so I'm not going to look completely Egyptian. And here I traced the original pencil drawing with Sharpie marker. If you want to include jewelry in your portrait, I'd suggest using some leftover candy wrappers. This is from a chocolate bar. It's gold, but you can also use some tin foil or silver to add some extra shine to your painting. To cut triangles out of the candy wrappers, I think I'm going to glue them on before I start painting, but you can do this after the paint dries. It's up to you which you would like to do first. I apologize for not showing you my step-by-step process here, so I'm just going to talk about the choices that I made. Some of the pieces in this are a little bit shimmery. That's because I cheated a little bit and I used nail polish. So really you can be creative in what you have at home. Most of this is acrylic paint. And I filled in those sharp lines, and after it dried, I actually went back in with the Sharpie and retraced those lines because it's really hard to fill in exactly with the paint. And then the gold details I glued on with tacky glue. It's just a little bit easier to work with, especially something with like the earring where it's a little bit three-dimensional there. But Elmer's glue should work just fine for you. So I'd love to see how these turned out, and send me a picture or an email and let me know if you worked on this project.